Hi everyone. So this is the blueprint for UPSC 2027 attempt, and I'm going to talk about some important aspects. That is, first of all, your sources, your approach, your sources, revision method, recalling and remembering, current affairs, weekly and monthly targets, and shift in strategy for prelims. So let's begin. First of all, let's see the approaches. Your approach for 2027 attempt should be first of all NCRTs, because as we have seen, a lot of questions are being asked directly from NCRTs, and even in 2026 questions were asked from NCRTs. Specifically for geography and economics, you should rely on economic NCRTs and focus on multiple revisions of these subjects, because both of these subjects are something that are more conceptual in nature and needs repeated revisions for you to be able to remember the things that are mentioned in the subject. So first of all, you have to do 7 to 8 times revision of specifically these two, that is geography and economics NCRTs, 7 to 8 times, and one reading should be done of these two before August end. One reading, complete reading of geography and economics should be done before August end. The second approach is practicing tests. This is going to be helpful when we shift to prelims mode after October or around November. So we have to do a lot of practice of tests. So in approach, let's see month wise what should be your approach. First of all, let's see July. For July, you have to focus on your optional, because 30% of the syllabus that you have to do throughout the July, that is for more than of 30% of your time throughout the July should be devoted to your optional subject. You should be able to finish economics NCRTs, that is from 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th NCRTs, you should be able to finish it in July. You should be able to finish it one reading in July. Then you should be able to do economic standard book, one reading of economic standard book in July. Also geography NCRTs from 6th to 12th NCRTs, one reading in July. You need to do one reading in July. And geography standard book, any standard book you can take. You can take PMF IES book. You can also take GC Leong, other than the NCRTs. Any two books, any of these two books or any other book, if you know, you can take, and you have to do one complete reading word to word from first word to the second word of geography standard book as well in July. So this should be your target in July. Other than newspapers daily, and other than mains PYQs, and you should be able to find out what PYQs are related to economics and what PYQs are related to geography. So these are the tasks, other than whatever you are studying, these are the tasks that you should follow in July. Let's go to August. And again, 30% of the optional you should do in August, 30% in July and 30% in August. Then we have history. You should do history NCRTs, 6th to 8th NCRT is very important 6th to 8th. And then the standard book, any standard book you can take, Spectrum for modern or any other book that you prefer, you can take that book as well. Then the polity in August, history, polity class 11th, one reading of class 11th, one complete reading, word to word reading of class 11th in August. Then Lakshmikant will take whole 30 days. Every day you should read Lakshmikant, and 30 days you should finish Lakshmikant once. It can be done in 1 month, and you should be able to do it in 1 month. Okay. Then Bayer Act. So how to use Bayer Act? For example, if you are studying article 1 to article 5 from Lakshmikant, similarly at the same time simultaneously you go to Bayer Act and read article 1 to 5. Then if you are studying article 6 to 11 in Lakshmikant, you go to Bayer Act, read 6 to 11. Both of them will go simultaneously. Lakshmikant first and then Bayer Act. Corresponding articles from Bayer Act as well. bare act as well. Okay, that's the approach. You should be able to finish Lakshmikant and bare act in August. Then we have leftover, whatever the optional is left over, focus on it. That is 40%. That is 40% of the optional. So by September end, you should finish one complete reading of your optional. Okay, this is for those who had already studied optional. If you have not done your optional even once, you should have the deadline of October end. You should have the deadline of October end. If you are taking coaching, if you are taking any coaching for optional, October end should be your target. That one complete reading of all the syllabus of optional should be done by October end. Those who have done their optional, this is their target, that by September end they should be able to finish one reading of all the syllabus of optional. Other than that, in September you have to do environment as well, science tech as well, leftover polity as well, and economics revision as well in September. Let's go to October. Now I have divided October into week. So October first week, you should do revision of economics. Should take 4 days. Since you have done economics already, you should be able to revise all of the important books, all of the standard books and the NCRTs in 4 days. You should be able to revise it. Then we have to do in the first week geography as well. Since you have done it already, this should be a second reading. Second reading has to be faster than the first reading. So 3 days are enough to finish entire geography revision. Fast revision you have to do. Okay, I'll talk about it in the later part of the video. Then in the second week of October, you have to revise polity. 4 days you can do easily. You can do polity easily in 4 days. You have to rely more on bare act now. Once you have done one complete reading of bare act and selective reading of Lakshmikant. Right? Revision of environment 3 days. Okay, revision of environment 3 days. The third week, science tech revision and history revision. Third week of October. Okay, fourth week of October, full optional revision. 1 week, one entire week of October, full optional should be revised. Paper 1, paper 2, both of them should be revised. Fast revision. You have to do fast revision. Okay. Now let's go to the second. That is the sources. So first of all, let's see geography. After October, we have to shift to prelims mode. We have to do more revisions. We have to do more revisions and more tests and PYQs and MCQs. So the number of revisions will keep on increasing after October. We will discuss it when we are able to clear August. Once August is cleared, we have studied up to August, we can plan out for November to May. But these are the target up to October. You should make your own targets like that, in this manner. Okay, sources. For geography, so let's see for geography. For geography, the sources are 6 to 10th NCRTs. 6 to 10th NCRT you have to do 1 to 2 times, not more than that, 1 to 2 times. 11 to 12th NCRTs, 11 to 10th 4 books. There are 4 books. 4 books you have to do 6 to 7 times. 6 to specifically focus on physical environment and physical geography. You have to focus on physical geography and physical environment. Okay. Then we have mapping in geography. You have to do regularly. Weekly 2 hours you should allocate to mapping. This includes rivers, mountains, passes, straits, okay, tunnels, lakes, Ramsar sites, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and all other important aspects that are repeatedly asked. 2 hours daily is enough. 2 hours weekly is enough. Post-March, daily 1 hour we have to do. Daily 1 hour, because a lot of questions are asked regarding mapping and we have to be very, very strong in mapping. At least 5 to 10 questions we can easily solve. You can watch videos, you can use Wikipedia, you can follow on newspapers, any place mentioned in newspaper. For example, Hungary is mentioned in newspaper. You should go on Google and see Hungary, where is it? What are its boundaries? What are bordering countries? What is the capital? Which city? Which river does it passes through? And all these. And you can use help of social media as well for mapping. Okay. This was the geography source. Now let's see what is the economics. For economics, what we have to do? For economics, first focus on NCRTs. Okay, 11 to 12th NCRTs. If you find these two books difficult, you have to do 9th and 10th. 9th and 10th NCRTs you have to do. Okay. Once you have done 9 to 10th once, one reading of 9 to 10th, then you can go to 11th and 12th. Focus on macroeconomics. 7 to 8 readings before prelims. All these readings, the number of readings I am telling you, these are before prelims. 7 to 8 readings. Rest 2 to 3 readings are enough. Okay. Then there are standard books. You have to do multiple readings of 2 to 3 readings of these standard books as well. You can take anyone, Ramesh Singh, Vivek Singh, or any other coaching material, Murunal, for example, and 2 to 3 readings you have to do of these books as well, these standard books as well. Okay, so economics current, this is very important because most of the questions that are asked related to economics in prelims are current oriented, not very based on static, but mostly current oriented. So newspaper, focus on whatever economic news are being covered in newspaper, you have to focus on that. Then you have to do monthly magazine economic section. Okay, any magazine, you can take Vision, you can take Forum IS quarterly booklets, Forum IS quarterly booklet, you can take Insights booklets, monthly booklet, you can take IS Baba's booklets. Okay, you can take civil dailies as well. Any of the one, you select any of the one and do the economic section thoroughly every month. Okay, in case of Forum, every quarterly you have to do the economic section thoroughly. Okay, then you have to go on websites once in a while of RBI, SEBI, PFRDA, Ministry of Finance, Commerce, Consumer Affairs. These ministries you have to cover once in a while. You go on the website, see what kind of whatever they mentioned, what are organizations below them, what is the functioning, who, and all these things that you have to go through the websites and check on the reports, monthly reports. All of these aspects you can read about on the websites. Okay, some other organizations related to economics, we will discuss it in later when we specifically cover economics. Okay, then we have to do year-end review of PIB. PIB will release an year-end review of the Ministry of Finance and Commerce in December. So we have to read that. Read those releases very carefully because all of the schemes and all of the initiatives that the ministry has taken are mentioned in that year-end review. Then during budget and economic survey, we have to specifically focus on economics because these topics, some important concepts and topics can be asked in prelims questions Okay, so that is for economics. We have covered what are the books, NCERT books, standard books, and current affairs. Let's go to the polity. Polity, first of all, if you are strong at polity, no need to do the 11th NCERT. If you find polity a little difficult and want to start it from the beginning, you should do 11th NCERT, 11th class, 11th NCERT. 1 to 2 readings are sufficient. One reading, if you are able to understand what the author of the book is trying to say, what the book is trying to say, that is enough. Then you have to do Lakshmikant, 8 to 10 readings. 8 to 10 readings of Lakshmikant before prelims 2027. Post January, we have to focus on repeated themes, important topics, fundamental right, fundamental duties, parliament, president, all of the important emergency provisions, all of the important topics we have to focus on them, and focus on post January. We have to narrow down the focus, and we cannot completely reread the book again and again. Okay, Bayer Act is one of the most underrated books that I think for polity. You have to read word to word, from first word to the end word, multiple readings, 7 to 8 readings, and if possible, whenever you are reading a chapter in Lakshmikant, whenever you are, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you are reading a chapter on Lakshmikant, let's say you are reading fundamental duties in Lakshmikant, you go to Bayer Act and read the fundamental duties as mentioned in the Bayer Act, and also read the footnotes. It gives you an idea what was added by which Constitutional Amendment Act, in which year, what was amended, what was inserted, what was replaced. All of these facts are in Bayer Act easily. Bayer Act is very small and it's easy to carry, easy to read, and a lot of fun to read as well. Okay. What about current related to polity? For again, newspaper, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha websites. You go to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that is Sansad websites, and you can see a lot of things like question hour, 0 hour, 377 notices, and other aspects that are there, that are not in any of the books, like parliamentary procedures, parliamentary committees, various standing committees, what are the composition, who is elected by whom, what are the process of it. All of it is in the website of Parliament, that is the Sansad website, and you can go there and check out those websites before your prelims examination and make crisp notes out of that. So that is really helpful because a lot of questions are being asked related to parliamentary procedures. Specifically in 2026 also they ask questions related to they asked question related to question hour, start question and start question, that was from the Lok Sabha website. Then budget session, we have to follow the parliament's budget session, because lot of important tasks, that the appropriation bill, that the finance bill, that is the budget, all of these things are passed during, and the FRMBI, the statements that are laid for FRMB Act, or also during the budget session. So budget session becomes important not only for economics, but also for polity, So we will follow the budget session during the when the budget is presented. Okay, then solving MCQ is very important in polity, because lot of traps are there, lot of questions can be flipped, responsibilities of president, responsibility of parliament, president responsible to whom, etc. All of these questions can only be remembered if you are able to solve lot of PYQs. Okay, all right, so we have done polity as well. Now let's move ahead to history. Okay, so history, again you are aware about basic things. History 6 to 8 NCERT we have to do. 6 to 8 NCERT we have to do. Then we can do spectrum. Spectrum focus should be on post 1857. More focus on post 1857. Remembering is very important in history. Remembering years, names, magazines, authors, participants, events. All of these things you should be able to remember. Advent of Europeans is very important. Where all the factories were established, what all wars did Europeans fight, British versus Mysore, British versus Maratha, British versus etc. All of these wars should be on your fingertips. You should be able to remember the year and arrange them in chronological order. Right. Treaties, wars, appendix chapter. Okay, in spectrum there is an appendix chapter at the end of the spectrum. There are some chapters which are very important, like the education, press in India, and then there is Congress sessions and all of the. At the end of the spectrum you can see appendix chapter. These are very important. You should do multiple revisions of this appendix chapters in spectrum. Okay, then ancient medieval art and culture, we have to focus on themes, that is Indus Valley, Mauryan, Ashoka, Buddhism, Jainism, Bhakti, Sufi, Vijayanagar, Chola, Chera, Pandya, Rashtrakuta, temples, architecture, cave complexes, paintings, art, mathematicians, authors, poets, etc. So these are some important themes that are being asked by UPSC again and again in their prelims examination. So one should be aware with these themes and should be thoroughly prepared to answer any questions related to these themes. So this is how you should be able to do your art and culture and ancient and medieval. And if you want to read more, you can do Tamil Nadu NCERTs, Tamil Nadu books, Tamil Nadu state books. You can do for ancient and medieval, and make crisp notes out of them. Okay, so let's go to environment now. Environment, the basic is biology class 12th last 4 chapters. Biology class 12th last 4 chapters you have to do once, and then you can do any standard book, either PMF or Shankar or etc. Any coaching material you can find useful, you can use for environment. Then for environment we have to do newspaper, and we have to do monthly magazine in environment section from monthly magazine, because all of these COP Summit, UNFCCC, UCBD, CMS, all of these are covered in magazines. So you can pick up any monthly magazine from any of the newspaper, any of the coaching, and you can study the environment section from that for your supplementing the current affairs. Okay, science tech is not that difficult. We have to do 6 to 10th NCERTs for basic science, for science in everyday life, how rainbows are formed, dispersion, diffusion, reflection, refraction, all of these important concepts, acid, base, etc. All of these concepts from 6 to 10th NCERT you have to do once, and then any standard book you can find on any coaching material, you can pick that up for science tech. What all should be of your more focus on it? First of all, the defense should be on focus, space, medical, crop related technologies, AI and futuristic tech, that includes like quantum technology and nanotechnology, which are even that is pollution controlling tech, the technology that controls pollution, technology that helps in green hydrogen, clean energy, nuclear, all of these aspects, all of these points you should prepare from standard books or coaching material or anywhere you find useful. But focus should be themes wise, focus should be topic wise, not reading all of it, not reading everything under the sun. Okay, I hope you understand. These are the main topics. Okay, so let's go to the next topic, that is revision method. So first of all, daily whatever you have read, you should read. Okay, this just shut down by itself. Let me open it again. So the idea is that whatever you are reading, you should be able to revise it. Daily 30 minutes before you sleep. Okay, whatever you are reading the whole day, you should be able to revise it in 30 minutes, flipping pages. You should be able to flip pages continuously, and then do weekly 2-hour revision on Sunday. Whatever you have done throughout the week, 2-hour flipping pages or rereading whatever you have read, not word to word, not reading it aloud, not reading everything, just flipping pages. Okay, as simple as that. Then on the 15th day, 4 hours should be allotted to the same exercise, and on the 30th day, 6 hours should be allotted. This should be the ideal pattern. Nobody is able to follow it ideal. Even I am not able to follow it, but you should strive towards. This is the goal, right? Then read word to word once, revise on 7th day. Read word to word on once. First revision, quickly flipping pages. Slow recall. Try hiding the page with hand and remember the topic. Not all, but only topic headlines. Okay, you can follow the Pomodoro method. If you're not aware about it, you can find it. Pomodoro method. What method is this? Reading 25 minutes of utmost concentration, then 5 minutes break. Or you can do 50-minute reading, 10-minute break, or 100-minute reading, 20-minute break. This will feel not a burden. This method feels like not a burden. Easy to follow. And it doesn't feel tough. It doesn't make the topic tough because there is a 20-minute break. Alright, I hope you are able to understand. Okay, now recall and remembering. What is recall and remembering? First reading, not remember anything. In the first reading, if you are studying any subject, you will not be able to remember anything if I ask you after even 10 minutes. Okay, you will not be able to remember it. That's the nature of how human beings are. Okay, in the second reading, we will be able to retain 10%. In the third reading, 25% will be retained. In the fourth reading, 50% will be retained. In the fifth reading, 65% would be retained. So you see how with each reading, the more the revision, the more you can recall. That's how it is. Okay, so hand technique you can follow. This is a simple technique followed in since our childhood. We are following things. After 2 reading, this is applicable only once you have done 2 readings. Okay, use your hand to hide the topic or the content and try recalling anything you remember. Okay, even if you don't remember, it's okay. Read again and try again. So that's how you are able to recall things, remember things, put it into your long-term memory, and able to solve questions in your examination. Okay, again, only after 2 readings you have to do the recall and remembering. Okay, only after 2 readings. Next, we go to current affairs. Another important topic, that is current affairs. Okay, what is mandatory? Newspaper. Indian Express, Hindu, Jansatta for Hindi. Okay, mandatory daily newspaper is mandatory. You read as much as current affair magazines, as much as PIB, as much as whatever you want to read. It will not be helpful as much as you read newspapers. Okay, because the things will repeat in newspapers and you will be able to recall that in examination hall. So it is important that you read newspaper daily without missing. Okay, so monthly magazine, there are lot of controversial take on doing a monthly magazine or not doing monthly magazine, but I would recommend you to do it monthwise and not keep them piling up. Do it monthwise. It will take not more than 5 to 6 hours in a month to finish one monthly magazine. Take a physical printout and mark it in that, and better not to keep it pending. It is important because it is a tool to revise whatever you have read in newspapers. Because all of the content that various newspapers or the PIB or any other important government official source has mentioned, monthly magazines covered that. So once you have already read things in newspaper, it is like a revision for you. When you read that in monthly magazine. For current affair, there is PIB. We have to focus on PIB from December. Okay, from December. From December. Why from December? Because year end review. Year end reviews come from December. Then we have budget. Then we have president's speech. Where we have economic survey. We have budget session. So lot of activities happening on PIB's website. So from December we can give focus to PIB on specific releases of specific ministries. We'll discuss that in later video. And another important source for environment is Down to Earth magazine. Down to Earth magazine is very thin magazine, not very thick, very high quality, richly packed content related to environment, and it is released every 15 days. So not much of time is taken by reading that, because it's hardly 40 to 50 pages. It may look like thick, but it is only 40 to 50 pages, and you can easy read. Helps in also essay, because they are sometimes covering environment related essays, and also helps in CSAT English comprehension. Okay, so these are the sources. Okay, let's go to so these are the current affairs sources. Let's go to targets. By end of October, optional should be done once. Okay, geography, economy and polity, 2 to 3 readings. Geography, economics and polity, 2 to 3 readings of all the books. Okay, environment, history and science tech, 1 to 2 readings by the end of October. Okay, from November to May we have to do PYQ of prelim solving 5 to 7 times from November to May. Then we have to do test series, 30 to 40 full length test we have to write. And 30 to 40 subject wise test we have to write. Okay, geography, economics and polity, 7 to 8 revisions we have to do from November to May. 7 to 8 revisions we have to do geography, economics and polity. Environment, science tech, history we have to do 3 to 4 readings in 7 to May. So this is the overall plan. I hope you are able to understand or follow along whatever I said. If you have not been able to follow along, please mention in the video. Should I make another video a little bit slower so that you are able to understand. So last point is left is shift in prelims. From November mid, we have to stop all our other kind of preparation and focus completely on prelims oriented. That is PYQ solving, MCQ solving daily, and revising core subjects. That should be the focus from November mid. Shift in strategy for prelims. Okay, I hope you are doing good and preparing for this examination, and I hope you do great. Bye bye.